What does success look like? For some people, it's a luxury mansion. For others, it's a private jet. But for Dolly Parton, success means something different. It means never forgetting where you came from. Because before she became one of the most recognizable women on earth, before she sold over 100 million records, before she built a business empire worth hundreds of millions of dollars, she was a little girl living in a one-room cabin in the mountains of Tennessee. A cabin with no electricity, no indoor plumbing, and 11 brothers and sisters sharing the same tiny space. Today, Dolly Parton is one of the richest and most beloved entertainers in America. But her journey from extreme poverty to global icon is unlike anything Hollywood could write. This is the extraordinary lifestyle of Dolly Parton. Chapter 1. The Poorest Beginning. Dolly Rebecca Parton was born on January 19, 1946, in rural Tennessee. She grew up in a tiny mountain community called Locust Ridge. Her father worked as a sharecropper and construction laborer. Her family was so poor that when Dolly was born, her father reportedly paid the doctor with a sack of cornmeal. Think about that for a second. Not cash, not a check, cornmeal. And they all lived together in a small one-room cabin nestled in the Smoky Mountains. Money was almost non-existent. But despite the hardship, Dolly often says she never felt poor because her family was rich in things money couldn't buy: love, faith, music, and imagination. Those values would shape the rest of her life.
Chapter 2. The Dream That Never Died. Even as a child, Dolly knew exactly what she wanted. She wanted to become a star. While other children dreamed about ordinary jobs, Dolly imagined herself performing for massive crowds. She began singing in church, then on local radio stations, then on regional television programs. By age 10, she was already performing professionally, and by 13, she had recorded her first single. Most people would have considered those achievements impossible for a girl from a mountain cabin. Dolly viewed them as the beginning. After graduating high school in 1964, she made a decision that changed everything. The very next day, she moved to Nashville, the capital of country music. She arrived with little money, but she carried something much more valuable: absolute belief in herself. Chapter 3. Becoming a country music legend. Nashville wasn't easy. Thousands of talented musicians were chasing the same dream. Most failed. Dolly didn't. She quickly became known for her songwriting abilities. Then came hit after hit after hit. Songs like Jolene Coat of Many Colors, 9 to 5, Islands in the Stream, I Will Always Love You. That last song would later become one of the most successful songs in music history, especially after being recorded by Whitney Houston. Over the decades, Dolly transformed herself into one of the biggest names in country music and eventually one of the biggest names in entertainment.
Chapter 4. The Business Genius Behind the Smile. Many people see Dolly Parton as a singer. What they don't see is the businesswoman, because behind the rhinestones and big hair is one of the smartest entrepreneurs in entertainment history. Unlike many celebrities, Dolly retained ownership of much of her music catalog. That decision generated enormous wealth over time. Royalties continued flowing year after year, decade after decade. And Dolly didn't stop with music. She expanded into film, television, publishing, merchandising, real estate, and tourism. Every new venture strengthened her empire. While other stars spent fortunes trying to look rich, Dolly quietly built real wealth. Chapter 5. Dollywood, her crown jewel. Perhaps the most impressive piece of Dolly's empire is Dollywood, located in the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee. The theme park attracts millions of visitors every year. But Dollywood isn't just a business, it's personal. Dolly built it near the place where she grew up. She wanted to create jobs and economic opportunities for local families. The park eventually expanded into resorts, water parks, entertainment venues, and hospitality businesses. Today, it serves as one of the biggest tourist attractions in the American South, and it generates massive revenue for the region. Chapter 6. Inside Dolly's Homes. Despite her immense wealth, Dolly has always maintained a surprisingly balanced lifestyle. Her primary residence is located near Nashville, Tennessee. The property offers privacy, security, and comfort. But compared to many celebrity estates, it's relatively modest. Dolly has never been obsessed with showing off luxury. She enjoys beautiful things, but she doesn't define herself by them. Visitors often describe her homes as warm and welcoming rather than cold and extravagant. They reflect her personality, colorful, creative, and deeply connected to family traditions. Chapter 7. Her cars, clothes, and private life. Dolly's public image is instantly recognizable. The sparkling outfits, the dramatic hairstyles, the glamorous makeup. It's a look she created intentionally, and it became one of the most successful personal brands in entertainment history. Yet behind the scenes, Dolly often describes herself as surprisingly simple. She enjoys spending time at home, reading, writing songs, cooking, and relaxing with loved ones. Unlike many celebrities, she has managed to keep much of her private life remarkably private. Chapter 8. The Philanthropist. This may be the most important chapter of Dolly Parton's story, because her greatest achievement might not be music, or business, or fame. It might be generosity. In 1995, she launched the Imagination Library. The program provides free books to children. What started as a local initiative eventually expanded internationally. Millions upon millions of books have been distributed, helping children develop literacy skills regardless of income level. Dolly has also donated to disaster relief efforts, education initiatives, medical research, and countless charitable causes. She understands poverty because she lived it, and she has spent much of her life helping others escape it. Chapter 9. How much is Dolly Parton worth? Financial estimates vary, but many analysts place Dolly Parton's net worth in the hundreds of millions of dollars. Some estimates exceed $600 million. That's an astonishing achievement for someone born into extreme poverty. But what makes Dolly unique is that she rarely talks about money. She talks about purpose, creativity, faith, and giving back. For her, wealth was never the goal. Freedom was. Chapter 10. The Lesson of Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton's story isn't really about fame. It's not even about money. It's about possibility. A girl born in a one-room cabin, a child whose family struggled to afford basic necessities, a teenager with a dream that seemed impossible, who became a global icon through talent, determination, and relentless hard work. And despite achieving everything she ever imagined, she never forgot where she came from. That may be the real secret behind Dolly Parton's success. Not the songs, not the businesses, not the fortune, but the fact that she remained Dolly, from the mountains of Tennessee to the world stage. And that's why millions of people don't just admire her, they love her. Outrow. What do you think is Dolly Parton's greatest achievement? Her music? Her business empire? Or the millions of lives she's helped through her charitable work? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more fascinating stories about the world's most extraordinary lives. Thanks for watching.